So today I'm going to be building a pantry. This is a small kitchen in a condo I'm renovating, and there's not enough storage space. There's just some upper and lower cabinets, not a lot, but not a good place to put a cereal box or something like that. So I'm going to build a pantry in here under this bar that I installed. Pretty easy project to do. If you get mixed up, just look at an existing cabinet you have and you can kind of steal some of the dimensions. That way your new cabinet blends a little bit. I borrowed the dimensions from the bottom. First thing you want to do is measure and draw it out. So I measure my height here. That's going to give me the side wall. This is basically going to be just a few main pieces. There's going to be a side wall here, and then I'm going to take this red oak facing, and I'm going to cut these down to size, build a little box out in front, have it raised off the ground so you have a little toe kick area, and then we'll build a bottom shelf that's going to be supported underneath with some 2x4s that'll be hidden. So these back walls are actually going to be the inside of the pantry. It's down low. If you wanted to spruce it up a bit, you could throw some little 1/8" plywood sheathing on the back here, and that would give the cabinet a nice finished look. So I'll get started here. I've got a table saw and a miter saw. Other than that, you just need pencil, tape measure, square, some levels. You want a finishing nailer with an air compressor, and then some wood glue. Other than that, pretty easy project. Here we go. So I'm going to make a rip cut to get this to the proper dimension. I want it to be 11 inches and 3/4 wide. So I've got my rip fence set to 11 3/4. Always want to measure twice and cut once, so make sure that blade's going to leave me exactly the right amount. Looks good. Got earplugs and eye protection in. Make sure I've got the right side of the board. You want to use a table saw for this application, not just cut it by hand. That'll give you a perfect straight cut. Otherwise things aren't going to line up right. So, get things ready here. Okay, for this next cut, I'm going to use a miter saw. Miter saw is going to give me a perfect right angle cut on this long skinny piece. The table saw is not able to make that kind of cut. So I've lined it up, made sure that my blade is cutting on the right side of my mark. I'm all lined up and ready to cut. Okay, I've got everything cut down to size, pretty much ready to assemble it here. So I'm going to get started. I'll do most of this in fast forward and make some notes so you can watch it quickly. Let's see. Alright, so this is what we accomplished here. Got our box. It's nice and firm. The side is set up here. We left a 1/2 inch overlay for this finish plate that we'll put covering this 2x4, the little kick plate. Everything is measured out just right so that this is going to fit. We'll have to tap that into place. It's going to be a snug fit, but that'll get us the bottom shelf. So next we're just going to put on our surround pieces, put another little support up there, which keeps this nice and plumb. So we're ready to go. Okay, so I needed to make an adjustment. When I was putting my facing on, I realized that this needed to be raised, so I put a couple extra pieces under here with some shims, got it up to just the right level. So now I can reattach this. Alright, so our cabinet is done, essentially. We've got all the wood parts in here. I didn't face the back. I'm going to paint that instead, so it'll look fine when it's finished. I do need to buy some doors. I'm going to have 2 doors swinging open here with concealed European-style hinges on it, so it'll match the cabinetry in the kitchen. But you can see we've got a nice clean toe kick down here. After I put in the wood floors, I'm going to add a proper piece down here, a nice toe kick, so that you have a nice finish edge. All of these nail holes need to get filled with wood filler, so do those joints. Those get sanded and then stained. If you don't sand them first, your stain won't come out right. So we're all done here. That's built. One thing I did off camera, I reinforced this piece. I put an extra piece of that double-sided tape, which is rated to hold 20 pounds. I put it all the way across, and then I also toe-nailed it on both of these corners up there to shore it up a little bit. So that's it.